ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ as you know for a number of years now the Sikh Awareness Society have brought you live cases around the country, around the world, every corner of the world really, and some of these stories are really nasty stories. Some where children have been abused within the home, and as we know 90% of abuse occurs within the home. This kind of abuse, the Punjabi community is very, very quiet, very silent on. We've brought you stories in the past where, people from different faiths have raped and abused our young daughters. Today, Sat Sangat Ji, I'm going to be meeting a young lady called Aman, and today she's going to be sharing both external abuse and eternal abuse and the effects on her life. So let's go in and speak to Aman. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thanks for giving us this interview. I know it's going to be very traumatic to think back on your life, and it'll bring some triggers, and it's going to be pretty hard, and I think you're very courageous to come forward. So if at any time that you feel during the interview that you need to stop, or you need a break, or you need a glass of water, then just please tell us so we can stop, be as comfortable as possible. And if there are areas that you don't want me to talk about, then you don't have to answer them questions. And once again, thank you very, very much for giving us this interview, the SAS. Now, Aman, just for the sake of all the people that will be watching this program, where does Aman come from? How old is Aman at the moment?
I'm Aman. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Hertfordshire.
And these are very heinous crimes that have been committed against you. So do you remember the first time the abuse took place? Or how old was you then?
I think I was 14, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened by my cousin.
Okay, and was it at your house or his house or?
So the first incident happened at my house,
Mm-hmm.
and the second incident was at a relative's house.
Okay, so in your own words, how did he approach you, or how did he manage to sort of do something to you?
We were having a family dinner, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was really happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stroked my leg from underneath the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that initially it was by mistake,
Mm-hmm.
but then he carried on
Right.
rubbing and going upwards
Oh.
for a long period of time.
Mm.
And I didn't really know what to say, because everyone was in a normal conversation and happy, and so I didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was, so the initial touch happened while you were having dinner.
Yeah.
And did anything happen after dinner?
No, I just avoided him and hung out with the rest of the family,
Mm-hmm.
because I was quite freaked out as into why he would do that, because he's younger than me.
Oh, so he was younger than you?
Yeah.
Okay, can we probably say how many years younger than you?
Probably about 3, 4 at least.
So he must have been only, what, about 10, 11 at that time?
Yeah, he was young.
Okay. So that was probably the first time. How long after, since then, did he try it again?
It was a couple of months, and it was at a relative's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that maybe he would have forgotten or changed, or it was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So we were playing hide and seek, and me and him had to hide in the same place. And then this time he came from behind, and he started touching me in places that were very inappropriate. And so I did tell him to get off because it's weird. Because it lasted for 10-15 minutes and he still wouldn't stop.
Right.
So I didn't understand what he was doing.
So he wasn't responding to your no's, or he wasn't sort of...
No, he just continued. And we were in a closet wardrobe thing, hiding, because we were playing hide and seek with my younger cousin. So I just didn't really know what to do, but it got to a point where I had to say something.
And did you sort of report this incident to anyone?
No, it's something that I didn't feel I could tell anyone.
Did you stay away from this young cousin, or did you feel awkward every time you came in contact with him, or did he ever try it again?
He didn't try it again. It did leave a scar. But there was a reason why he was doing that. So he's still my cousin, and I felt like I had a duty of care towards him. But it was suppressed, and now it's all come out. So now I think our relationship's quite not right.
Okay, so you think he had issues, and is that what you're saying, or?
Yeah, I think he saw something from his dad, and he copied.
Okay, so he's seen his dad doing something to another woman, or?
Yeah,
or?
probably both. From what I know.
Okay, so from what he's told you?
What other people have told me, yes.
Okay, and he's just acted that on you?
He's always been quite quiet and shy, and within the group he was always outside of the group, so I always made effort to try and make him included because I'm the older cousin and he's the younger cousin. But then after the incidences it was very hard. And then I realised the reasoning why from other people. So I still try because I don't want him to turn into something that he's not. He needs to know what he did was wrong.
Did you have a very open relationship with your parents? Could you talk to them about anything?
No.
No?
Definitely not.
Okay, and I know this is a very serious matter, but what about other things? Could you just generally talk to your parents, or no, it was just...
No. My dad used to drink alcohol, and there was abuse going on within the house. And so I witnessed that when I was younger, and I think it had a traumatic effect. And I was so scared for my dad that psychologically I didn't go to him about anything.
I presume that under the influence of alcohol he was maybe abusing or being violent towards the kids. Is that what you're saying, or different kind of abuse?
It was a different kind of abuse. So there's different types of abuse. So there was physical abuse going on with my parents, and then the kids suffered as well.
So he was abusing your mother, and you grew up seeing this?
Yeah.
And that was what it was. It wasn't giving you the self-confidence to talk to your mother or your father. What do you think? Your mother couldn't protect you, or the mother wouldn't listen to you? Well, I mean, I know you said your father was alcoholic, but your mother wasn't. So why couldn't you go to the mother, in your own words?
My mother suffered a lot from my dad, and it's had a detrimental effect on her confidence. And I think because she cannot control that situation, she tries to control me. And that's had a detrimental effect on me. So there's always been a barrier between me and my mum.
Okay, so you couldn't go to your mum on anything really then?
No, because she controls everything so much. What I wear, when I leave the house, who I speak to, my friends. She adds my friends on Facebook. She messages me 24/7. She tries to control me, and so there's no actual relationship. There's just
a control mechanism.
Yeah.
Do you think that your mother, because she was controlled by your father, Was she controlled by your father's family? Her mother-in-law, was there domestic violence in that sort as well? Or?
I think there's domestic violence within my father's family, definitely. And some incidences are way worse that it's too hard to even mention. But my father's parents were amazing and I miss them because they were like the rock of the family.
Right, okay. Now, you've been abused at home on a couple of occasions, and you can't talk to your parents, but you were also bullied at school as well, I believe.
Yeah, I was bullied in 3 different schools, and during which were my crucial years. So the years that you're meant to be growing up and there's a lot of change. So there was situations at home and situations at school.
So really, there was no respite for you in the sense that you weren't comfortable at home, but you weren't also comfortable at school.
Yeah, there was no escape.
Okay, coming to the bullying, what was it? What was the bullying? Why were they bullying you in simple sense? Was it?
I think the first time was because of my weight, so that's always had an effect on me. So now I calorie count and try and not eat too much.
You were overweight.
I wasn't overweight, I think people were just mean. I wasn't fat, I was just normal weight.
Right.
But when I ate lunch at school, then they would make fun of me, so then I started calorie counting.
Did you ever talk to anybody regarding this? A teacher or some cousin or somebody in the wider family, not just your mum and dad maybe?
No, I kept it to myself.
And that must have had a very bad effect because you know the 8 or 9 hours you're spending at school, you're not enjoying it, and you're not enjoying life at home.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
How comfortable are you with your body?
I hate my body and I basically hate myself. And it's only just getting better. So with the overweight, I calorie count. There's some days I starve myself. There's some days I eat too much. There's been some days where I've thrown up.
Okay. So would it be days when you're in the kitchen, you're in the dining room with your parents, you've eaten, but you would go up and puke and take it all out or something?
Yeah, I felt guilty eating the things I wanted to eat, like pizza, ice cream, like I didn't deserve it, or I'd look so fat and hideous and they'd pick on me again, or family functions, I'd look like the ugly duckling. So there's so much guilt of eating food, I'd either throw it up or over-exercise.
Oh, so you exercised as well then, did you?
I tried to when I was motivated, but not every day I was motivated.
So were you finding it hard? You were telling me in a private conversation you were finding it very hard to look yourself in the mirror.
I still struggle with that today, but it's much better. But since the bullying started, those 3-4 years when I was younger, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. So I'd do my makeup, but squinting my eyes or I couldn't face myself with what everything happened and sexual harassment and the rapes, and just couldn't face the mirror. The real problem started in the 3rd school because the 2nd school problems carried on to the 3rd school because of the mutual friends. And so that's where I think everything caught up on me.
Is it just, was it just verbal taunts or was there anything physical?
Mainly it was verbal and rumours in the 2nd school. In the 3rd school, people would spit in my face, people would stop me from walking, they would laugh at me, they would say stuff about me. They would spread rumours that would be kind of like against my beliefs. So that's why it affected me so much.
So against your beliefs, am I presuming against
Yeah,
Sikhism?
yeah.
So if you can remember what sort of taunting they did to you regarding Sikhi, could you share with us? Or
They said like they spread rumors about me having a relationship with one of the guys. There was stuff about my eyebrows because I'm not allowed to cut my hair. There was all the old rumors that spread in second school came to the third school, and then my self-confidence was so low at this point, so they just took advantage of that. So then I got to a point where I couldn't walk through a corridor by myself. My anxiety was so high, so I had to make sure that I had one of my friends with me. So second school was all girls, the third school was mainly all boys.
okay. And is that the time that you started self-harming then?
Yeah, in the third school. So my parents brought me up to think that I'm not allowed to talk to boys. I can't have any contact with them, it's bad. And so they chucked me into a boys' school, and I didn't know how to communicate with anyone, and I thought I was a bad Sikh. So it was very difficult trying to settle into somewhere that's a completely different environment. And so I remember the first time I started, I thought it was a silly idea, but I would try it anyway. And it helped. It temporarily helped.
So when you self-harmed,
Yeah,
you're saying temporarily there was some relief there.
yeah.
And may I ask what method you used?
Mainly it was scissors or a knife.
Or a knife?
Yeah,
So you take it from the kitchen downstairs and take it to your room
yeah,
or the bathroom and...
yeah. Usually the bathroom where I can lock the door.
Okay. And was it your arms, your legs, or...?
Well, it started on my arms, and that's where I wanted to do it the most. But then you have all the repercussions of trying to hide everything. And so then I had to go to other places.
Okay. How often would you self-harm?
Well, it started just occasionally, and then it happened a lot.
Now, was this happening every other day or every day or once a week or what?
I'm not really sure, but it got to a point at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay. And your family didn't have any idea that you were doing this, or...?
For a very long time, they didn't know. I started skipping school. My friends got worried and reported it. So, due to duty of care, the teachers had to inform my parents that I was cutting myself.
When your parents found out, or the school called them, what was the atmosphere like at home?
Horrific.
Did you get a lot of verbal abuse then, or were they sympathetic to why you were doing it, or...?
Mainly verbal abuse. Mainly verbal abuse.
Okay, so they didn't try to understand why you were doing it, or did they try to listen to you why you were trying to do it, or did you try to explain to them why you've done it?
I think I explained to them loads of times why I did it, but they weren't understanding. And there's a lot of stigma against mental illness, and in our culture, there was just no attempt for them to understand. It was more accusations as to why I was doing such a thing and how grateful I should be and how much stuff I have in my life.
Accusations, you're saying what kind, if you can remember?
Just that I was being very stupid and just blowing everything out of proportion and just more emotional blackmail and guilt tripping me for doing the things that I did.
Was it more your father or your mother?
It was a mixture of both.
So both of them had a go at you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did it spread out into the wider family, or it was just your mum and dad giving you a hard time?
Yeah, some of it did, which is horrible because I tried to stop it, but people didn't listen. So other people found out.
And how did it make you feel when your afterwards when you were going into family functions and people were looking at you or talking, how did it make you feel then that these people know certain things about my life?
Disgusted. There's always high anxiety going into any function. I would usually like starve myself a couple of days before to try and make sure I look okay, because there's a lot of high expectations. And I'm golden girl in the family, so a lot of people depend on me, so you have to give off a certain image.
Right. So you were living a lie then?
Yeah, it was a lie.
It was a lie. So you're living your life for expectations of others, but it wasn't really you,
Yeah,
and nobody tried to understand the real you.
no.
Hey, here's this now. When you would come from school, would your mother sit you down and say, "Beta, how did the day go?" or "How was it today?" or
She would ask in the car, and I'd just say it was fine. I would give her a standard answer. So that was the relationship that we had.
and it didn't go into deep stuff or anything like that?
No, it's never gone into deep stuff with my mum.
Okay. Obviously, the bullying must have stopped when you left school then to go to college, or
Yeah, so I managed to like get my qualification and then went to university, and then a lot of incidences happened at university because I was carrying all the burden from everything else.
And you obviously you were sexually abused again, because I think you told me you were raped or.
So both of the rapes have been Muslim.
And did they know you was a Sikh girl?
Yeah, I was targeted because I was Sikh.
So when they were pestering you, when they were doing these things, would they mention the Sikh faith in any way?
They would test me at the beginning as well and ask me if I would do this to go against my religion, or if I could win a holiday and to do this and cut my hair or like not become vegetarian. And they kept telling me how many people have gone off with Muslims, Indians that have gone off with Muslims against their parents and run away, and there's loads of references. I was just a bit naive.
Were you ever offered something like that where they would sort of give you, take you away and set you up, and so you could run off with them and convert and be with them, or?
I think I got protected, but there were situations that were definitely leading that way. But luckily something always came in the way.
So both of these, were they, I mean, when we say Muslim, it's, you were targeting whole religion, but were they Pakistanis or were they Bangladeshis or Afghanis? Would you remember, or no, it's just
I think the Bangladeshi.
Bangladeshi?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay.
So after I finished college, I had to take a gap year. And during my gap year, I was groomed badly. I didn't realise what it was until I spoke to SAS recently, and I didn't tell anyone about it for so long.
And who was this person?
He was a colleague, a very old colleague that worked with me. And he built my trust. He helped me with the job. And I thought he was my friend. And then I think during 1 month later, things just escalated.
So within you starting that job to 1 month into the job,
Yeah,
he basically
he started touching me.
he started touching you.
And he was very clever about it. We were still on the shop floor, but he carried on touching me, avoided cameras, and he threatened me. So I tried to avoid him, but the work positions that we had, the ones that I was put in, there was no way I could avoid him. I was isolated from everyone else. And then it got to a point where I did get moved out, which was good, but he kept staring at me from behind, stopping his working, coming into my personal space. The harassment didn't stop, the touching didn't stop. And then I asked him point blankly, what did he want? He wanted to talk to me, and I was trying to avoid him and say, no, I have nothing to say. And then he came very close to me, put his arm right next to my ear, right breathing down my neck, and he just said, he begged me to come to the party at work. And the work party was a nice social occasion, but it's not my cup of tea. But he was begging me to come, and I was like, no, I'm not going. And then he was begging me for dinner, and I was like, no, I'm not going. And he carried on, and I was like, what do you want from me? Because I was quite freaked out at this point. And then he licked me up and down again and said that he knows that I know what he wants.
Right. How did that make you feel? Scared?
So many emotions that I don't even know how to say it out loud. But it was a person that I'm not. He was portraying me to be somebody that was not, so I just felt extremely guilty. And maybe I'd given him the wrong signal to give him the idea that I was that kind of...
But I've always said it's not your fault, dear, it's the fault of the perpetrator. So, but you had a guilt, you know, you thought that you might be giving him wrong signals.
Yeah, maybe I was too over-friendly, maybe I was too nice. I never flirted with him. I was just nice. I'd say good morning on some days. I'd see how he's doing in the night shift. But I think he just took advantage of that. So during that time I was in my first workplace. I had 2 jobs going on. And another incident is where there was a vulnerable user that I was caring for, and he groped me. I had no idea what this was at the time, only until recently I knew. And that was a pretty horrific incident too. It was going on for like 20 minutes. But because this user was vulnerable and we had a job to do, I just thought, you know, maybe he's a bit confused.
Right.
But he knew what he was doing. And I should have.
And was he old or young or?
He was middle-aged.
Middle-aged.
Yeah, and we were trying to care for him. And he took advantage. And I told one of my colleagues, and they said that happens, it's fine. They're not really with it.
So they didn't help you either then?
No.
They tell you, you know, what he's doing is wrong, or we got to report it, or something like that?
No.
Okay.
They didn't say anything like that. So I didn't think it was a big deal, but it affected me.
Okay. And when you're saying affected you, did you go and see a GP, or did you go and see a counsellor, or were you referred somewhere after that, or what?
No. I blocked everything out. There were so many incidences in my life. One would happen, then another one would happen, I'd have to block the first one out. So I just had to block it. I did do some counselling for my bullying, but none of this stuff ever came out because I thought it was all my fault.
So you didn't actually speak to your counsellor and really open up, is that what you said?
Yeah. So, and every time the counsellor came close to doing something or getting to somewhere, I would run away. I would just cancel the treatment, find an excuse out of it.
Okay. Now, obviously you've been talking to us and you've been talking very candidly about everything. So what do you find difference with us and your normal counsellors that you were talking to?
I think SAS, they really understand the different cultural aspects involved in this whole situation. And therefore it's much easier to talk to if someone they can actually listen to you and more importantly believes you when no one else does. Normally it's just my word. It would be my word against theirs. And people just twist everything around. And so SAS have been amazing as in they listen to me and they believe me and they've helped me.
Okay.
The effects have been so detrimental that I've overdosed a few times, unsuccessfully.
When was the last time you overdosed?
Within the last 2 weeks.
Within the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it you overdosed on?
It was aspirins.
How many did you take?
I lost count.
You lost count. So you had suicidal tendencies.
The suicidal tendencies are there pretty much every day of my life, but there's only been a few days I've actually acted on them.
Okay. And when was the first time you tried to commit suicide?
It was probably at university.
And what triggered that then?
We were dealing with a lot of situations and there was more family problems and I was really alone. I'd been given the pressure to deal with everyone's family problems on top of everything else, even though I'm the child. So I would go and deal with the situations and then try and study, but my mask would have to come off eventually when I went to my room alone.
So around you, there was so much pressure.
Yeah.
And you were just saying that you couldn't take the pressure anymore.
Yeah. Everyone wanted something from me, but no one wanted to help me. My parents had never been there for me. And I just accepted that they're not there at all. So eventually I'll move out and just forget about them. But it's just all the blockages from the previous groping, rape, sexual assaults, bullying, loss of family members. Everything's coming out at the same time. It's like God's waking me up. And I didn't think it was that serious, but now it's just overwhelming.
And I believe that you took Amrit after all this.
Yeah, so I took Amrit when I was quite young. And I didn't feel right to take Amrit. I wanted to become a good Sikh before I took the Amrit. But I think it prevented me from becoming addicted to alcohol.
Okay, so you also had an alcoholic problem then, when you were young? Or was it your way of, sort of dampening some of the not so good feelings within you?
It just, it would block it out. But it didn't really help. So I'd drink cocktails or drink something. I'd go out to parties, my friends' parties, or different functions.
Or would you drink from your father's cabinet?
No, he hides everything very well. But it was available to me. And so I used to drink. And then the next day the guilt would set in. So I'd usually self-harm.
Okay, so it's a vicious circle.
Yeah.
You drink, guilt, self-harm.
Drink
again, and then it's just constant.
Yeah.
How long did the drinking go on for?
Probably about a year or two.
Okay, and again, your family wasn't aware of that either?
No.
So they missed all the signs then?
Everything. They don't know me. Basically.
Okay. Now that was, you took Amrit at a very young age.
Yeah.
You weren't ready then.
No.
So am I assume that you've been forced into it or coerced into it, or how?
I was coerced into it, but I do believe that taking Amrit saved me from the alcohol addiction. And that because I'd taken the Amrit, I stopped the alcohol. And it was very hard and I was very upset.
So Amrit helped you in that sort of department, right?
Yeah.
Did you retake Amrit recently, or?
No, I've kept my Amrit since I took it.
You kept it.
So I don't do drugs, alcohol.
Did you ever do drugs?
Once.
What was it? Soft weed or hard drugs or?
Not really sure. It was at a party.
Okay. And this is at university or sixth form college or?
This is sixth form college.
Sixth form college. So you've gone with your friends to a party or something, or?
Yeah, no, it's a friend's party. It was a close friend, so I don't go to random parties in the street, but it was a close friend, and one of the stuff, she put Coke in the cake. I remember that.
Okay, so when we say alcohol, is you went to alcohol because when you were growing up, your dad's doing it, so you think that was, if my dad can do it, I can do it. Was that thought running in your head, or?
Partly, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad does a lot of things.
Yeah.
Most I don't know of, but a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
And so if he can do it, then other people can do it.
So really, if he can take it, then I can have that alcohol as well. It's no problem.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell anyone
Okay.
because I would just get into trouble at home.
Did your mother drink?
No.
Okay. Your mother's never touched drink, according to you?
Yeah, no, I don't think she has.
Was your cousins around you drinking, or older cousins, or?
I think there's been a history of drinking in the family. So yeah, there was a phase where everyone was drinking.
I also believe that you once told me that your other cousins were also abused by family members sexually.
Yeah, there's, and it's all just come up recently. There's so much that I don't know, but what I do know, it just.
Did that cousin come up to you and the young girl and spoke to you, or?
The cousin, I think, was trying to get me to understand that I'm not alone. So I think some of the family members were shocked that all of this has been happening. Some of the incidences that I have shared right underneath their nose, and they had no idea because they had a protective feel. And so that's why some more things were shared with me that I didn't know. But there's still a lot more things that I don't know that other people know that's gone down.
So she shared certain things with you just to tell you that she's gone through it and you're not on your own.
Yeah.
So you just believe that it's just that the one cousin, or you think it's happened to other people in the family as well?
Yeah. I think the whole family's messed up.
Okay, dear. So we've gone, I mean, in your young life, you've had from alcohol and drugs to assaults from a very young age, family assaults and external assaults and everything, and you're currently going through a case which we can't talk about because it might damage or harm your case. If there was young girls watching this program, what would be your message to them? What would you say to them? Because obviously you've been through a lot.
I think don't be scared, because Sikh Awareness Society is there for you, and I'll be there for you as well. We can work together, whatever the issue. And I think the main thing I've learned, or trying to learn, is none of it's my fault. And any form of assault, abuse, touching is wrong, whether it's by your parents, your brother, your cousin, an outsider. It doesn't matter. Even if you think you initiated it, even if you think you got yourself into that trouble, it's not your fault, and there's always a way out.
Okay, and if parents are listening to this, your normal, ordinary Joe Blood parent, what would your message be to the parents?
I think if you really love and care for your children, you need to forget about culture and expectations and people talking about you wrongly and the hierarchy, because your kids are suffering because of this, and they can suffer a great deal, and sometimes it's irreversible. And so what's more important? Your kids' health and their happiness, or how you look like to the outside world?
And do you think a lot of Punjabi parents are more bothered about how they're perceived outside rather than their kids' welfare? Do you feel that?
Definitely. And how it would look like if some of the things came out, which just makes the kids feel worse, because you have to hide it more, you have no one to talk to, you have to cover it up, you have to act normal, when things like this should be talked about.
Okay, so That's your message. So, just if somebody was going through problems at school, what would you say to them?
I would say that there are teachers there to help you and to go to your head teacher and to explain the situation because it's not right and it's not your fault. And if they don't do anything, then again, Seek Awareness Society will be here for you. There's always someone there to help you. And SAS is someone that you can trust. There's loads of situations that go on within your family, within outsiders, everywhere, and you can't talk about anything to anyone. But if you suspect something, think someone's in danger, I think just contact SAS and we can see what we can do.
Okay, Aman, you know, from the day we met to right now, there is a marked improvement in your very being. Some of the therapies that we've suggested, some of the therapies that the therapists that you're working with have suggested seems to be working. Which ones do you think that are helping you more?
I think from what you've told me, Uncle G, with my Sikhi and my Simran and my Seva, that's helped me more than any antidepressants, any drugs, or any individual counsellors. So whenever I feel like I have to cut myself or I want to overdose, the thoughts can come on very suddenly and very dramatic. And so I do 21 Chopir Sai Path, or I do Mool Mantar, or I go for a walk. And you can do Mool Mantar and Waheguru in your head. And you don't even need to move your mouth. You can just do it in your head. So I don't need to be self-conscious about people watching me. I can just do that.
So you felt that we were doing Chopir Sahibs together and the Mool Mantra we were doing together. You just basically now adapted that into your life. Is that what you said?
Absolutely. And it's amazing. There's not enough naam that you can do. So the more you do, the more strength I get given. Then I can continue in it another day.
So what you're saying is that every time you have maybe a negative thought where you want to cut yourself or maybe even a bit worse than that, you just have that, you know, that 5-second time out and saying, you know, let's revert to Bart, let's revert to Mool Mantra or Chopir Sahib, and that's what's getting you through some of your sort of bad days.
Yeah, and I think letting the emotions out and crying instead of bottling it up. Because once the bottle fills to the top, then it overfills and you'll get yourself into such a situation where it's just, you can't even get out. So meditation helps, yoga helps, walking and talking.
Talking is definitely a very good tool to get stuff out of you. So I mean, we've worked with hundreds of people over the years, and Barney is the antidote to everything, because Maharaj says Sarvaroka Okudnam, and I'm glad that you're actually feeling the effects of Gurbani as you've applied it in your life. And 21 Chopir Sahibs for a young lady is thumbs up.
Thank you.
You've gone through a lot in your young life, and I, wouldn't want any child to go through this. And I know we're making this video purely because people can maybe learn of your experience, and young people watching this might see this and might, open up and talk. So thank you very much for giving us this interview, dear, and I hope that whatever you've said will be taken on board via the parents and via the children, and hope everybody can sort of learn from what you've gone through, so they don't have to go through what you've been. And I know your life has been pretty crap, if I put it in. It's you've gone to the darkest pits. I mean, you've sort of gone to hell and back, really, in a very short sort of space. And I'm glad that you're getting the help, and I'm glad that, you know, we're not all there yet, but we're on the road to mending. And personally, for myself, from the SAS, the time that we've spent working with you, I know that there is a difference, and you're listening and you're applying certain things. So you know, come next year, you know, it's not going to be like this all the time. You will get over it. You are a survivor, okay, and you survived taking pills, trying to take your own life. You're here for a purpose, and that's your purpose. You've just lived your purpose, is that to educate other people on what you've gone through, so nobody goes through that. That's why I say you're a very courageous person, and thank you very, very much for giving us this interview.
Thank you.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. In Satsang Ji, you've just watched and heard the young lady Aman speak. This is a young lady who's gone through, you know, she's gone to hell and back. She was abused within the home, and she was also abused outside. She's struggled with life, and this is a young lady that now is under the care of the SAS. The SAS are supporting her in every facet of her life, and as you've heard from her, we're making slow and steady progress. Satsang Ji, please support the SAS in any way you can, so we can carry on working with children like Aman and many more who need this personalized help. Because as you heard from her, she had the therapy from the state which wasn't helping her, because she wasn't understood as the way that the SAS understood her. So keep supporting us so we can support other children like Aman. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.